So, for all Aces fans, it's over. It's over. It's over. The reign of the Aces is over. I understand the shortest dynasty in the history of the sport of basketball. You know, I've never heard of a dynasty that won 2 championships and then was done, because you're seeing all the ring-chasing free agents getting out of Vegas. All the reasons why players went to Vegas. All the facilities. Every team has done that. And, oh man, it's great to see. It's great to see. And if you guys agree and you're celebrating the downfall of the Aces, subscribe. We're trying to get to 42.9K by the end of the day, and we're 35 subscribers off. But I do have to say, like, the Aces were the gold standard. Like, the Aces were the start of all of this. So, obviously, there's no, like, not saying that is a completely just factually incorrect statement. But they just made some really, in my opinion, boneheaded moves. They made some real bad moves. And if it turned out that, in my opinion, the number 2 pick is worth more than Jewel Lloyd. So, like, if I was the Aces, I would have taken number 2 for Kelsey Plum if Kelsey Plum wants to go. Like, surely the Aces weren't expecting all of Tiffany Hayes, Sydney Colson, and Alicia Clark. They're 3 vet bench players to leave. And this is what the Aces team looks like right now. This is the roster. Cheyenne Parker-Tice to go pick up. Jewel Lloyd. Wait, you are paying Jewel Lloyd a supermax. You could have kept the number 2 pick. You could have got the number 2 pick for Kelsey Plum. Use that on, honestly, a backup point guard. Use it on Olivia Miles, because Chelsea Gray does not have 30 minutes a game in her anymore. Use it on Olivia Miles. And then, like, you would also be able to spend the $200K needed on a Dewana Bonner. Like, if she would have wanted to come. But, like, you had that option. But you chose Jewel Lloyd. Jewel Lloyd making a supermax. You are getting the 35th best player in the WNBA on a supermax. You're getting a person who shot 36% from the field and 26% from 3, on a supermax. You are getting a player on a supermax who scores less points than shots she takes. It's not good. Because free throws are included in that. That's not good. Kia Stokes making $100K a year does not play offense. Megan Gustafson, she's not terrible. Tries hard, runs the floor, but she can't be your best bench player. I assume Parker-Tice is going to start. Kirsten Bell. Why is Kirsten Bell on a WNBA roster? And I mean that. Why is she on a roster? Like, there is no reason at all for Kirsten Bell to be anywhere near the WNBA right now. But she's on a near minimum contract. She obviously was a second round pick a couple of years ago. She's on an extremely small contract, so you have to take her. But you've got $900K going to 4 players. Chelsea Gray is one of the worst contracts in the W. I don't care what anyone says. She can't move anymore. Like, I don't understand why anyone who says that gets called out. And it's like, oh, you're disrespecting the point guard. No. Chelsea Gray was the best point guard in the world before Caitlin Clark came along. Well, actually, no. She's the best point guard in the world before she broke her foot. I think a prime Chelsea Gray, if she was still in her prime, you could make the argument she was the best point guard in the world right now, even with Caitlin Clark, depending on how Caitlin Clark starts year 2. But the fact is, she can't run. She can barely move and unrivaled. The team looks better when Lexi Hull's running the point at times. Like, the best I've seen her team looking was when they ran Azare, Lexi, and Angel. Like, Chelsea Gray on $200K it's not Katie Lou level bad, but it's a bad contract. Like, if you consider Brittany Sykes a point guard, Sykes is better than her. Chelsea Gray's passing's also getting worse. People don't realize that. Like, how many times, if you watch Chelsea Gray, like, whenever about Caitlin Clark, she'll throw the ball too hard to somebody. Caitlin sometimes passes the ball too hard, or is a bit too ambitious with passes, like throwing something that her teammates aren't ready for. Chelsea Gray, instead of making chest passes, will throw a spinning behind the back pass and hit someone's foot. She's throwing Jason Williams pass all the time. And the slower she gets, the more mad shit she does. I'm like, yes, Chelsea Gray again can still create her own shots sometimes. She's still got that post-up game, but she can't beat anybody. If you full court press Chelsea Gray 94 feet, like, she's going to do something wild. Like, if they guarded Gray like they guarded Clark, she'd have as many turnovers per game. And that is not talking. This is not talking about prime Chelsea Gray. He's talking about modern Chelsea Gray. She's She's a starter level player. She's not a starter if you're on a good team. Jackie Young, not a bad word to say about Jackie Young, but she's injured. Like, they've only got 2 players that are good enough to start for playoff teams. Sharon Parker-Tyus, before she got hurt last year, got benched for Naz Hillman. Albeit I think she was an all-star year before. Kirsten Bell shouldn't be in the league. Liz Kitley, who knows? She's a second-round pick. Like, there's a good chance, unless they can convince Elena Delanon to come out of retirement and another starter-level player, which I don't know if they exist right now, to play for the minimum. If they can convince Emma Mason to come over and they can to play on the minimum, and then convince Elena Delanon to come out of retirement, they have almost no cap space. They got 3 second-round picks this year. There's possibility that all 3 of them, for cap reasons, have to play. They might have to literally go out with 7 real players. 7 real players, with their bench being Kia Stokes and Meg Gustafson. And the rest of the team being Kirsten Bell, who should not be in the league, and 4 rookies, none of which were first-round picks. They might have to go with 5 players that would not get on the court for most teams, and a bench of Meg Gustafson and Kia Stokes. They've lost Alicia Clark. They've lost Sydney Colson. These players, for years, beat out young players. These were great role players. And now, again, I don't hate Meg Gustafson. I don't hate Kia Stokes. I think Kia Stokes is a great defender. Now you're relying on a player who got benched for Naz Hillman last year before she got hurt. You're relying on Sharon Parker-Tyus, who again got benched for Naz Hillman, to be an all-star. For this team to even be good. And I don't mean be a contender. They're not winning. I don't care. Aja Wilson could literally average 45 points a game. They're not winning a championship this year. Like, if I'm Aja, I'm going and breaking the 30-point per game record. I'm doing that. Like, no one's ever averaged 27 points per game. In a season, 25 was the highest for last season. Go average 30. If I'm Aja, go average 30. His team's winning at 44. If they're lucky, they're winning 27 games. If they're going 27-17, if they are lucky. I think it's might be more like 25 or 19. Could even be 20. Could even be a 500 team. Aja Wilson go and break that scoring record, because that's the only thing the Aces are playing for. The only thing the Aces are playing for. Go win another MVP, Aja, because you will have to do the most generational carry job ever to make this a top 3 team in the WNBA. Like, the Storm got better. They were like 1 game behind you guys. The Storm got better. The Fever got better. The 2 teams below you got better. Say the 3 teams. The Mercury got way better. Like, the Aces are, as of right now, on paper, unless they can make some crazy signings, the 6th best team in the WNBA. And that is not. And that is being generous to the Aces. That is being generous. That is being generous to Aja Wilson. I'm that confident in Aja Wilson that I think they're going to be the 6th best team in the W. I'm that confident in Jackie Young. But they have 2 All-Stars. One, a player who can either look like a superstar or the worst player or lose you a game. They've got a player who got, again, benched for Naz Tillman, the worst starter in the WNBA, not named Alyssa Smith last year. Can't play offense. Meg Gustafson, fine backup center, cannot be the best player on your bench. Chelsea Gray, can't move. Kirsten Bell, what is she doing in the league? Liz Kitley, who knows? And 3 second-round picks. Like, this team is awful.